Looking cool, Joker.
That's a like remember years ago, and this was my bad, and I apologize for this. I said people are buying PS4s on the belief and faith that they're going to get something. Well, their belief paid off for them, you know?
What is up, my fellow video game nerds? This is your friendly neighborhood cat, Morgana Days. Back with another video. Before I start getting into the nitty-gritty of this video, I just want to say that it is not my intention to hate on CrapGamer reviews. I am not trying to maliciously attack him, just to be mean. I am just doing this for education and entertainment purposes only. Alright, so as you just heard a little bit while ago, Mr. CrapGamer used to tell PS4 owners that they were buying PS4s, on the faith and belief that they were gonna get something. Now, what Crap said is true. I have been a long-time subscriber of him, believe it or not, because you know me. I am a console fanboy wars journalist, and yes, 2 to 3 years ago, Mr. CrapGamer used to preach, PS4 will not get games propaganda, every single day. I'm gonna let you guys hear the stuff he used to say all the time back in the day, while I play a gameplay that I recorded from a beautiful and gorgeous new IP, PS4 exclusive game, known as Horizon Zero Dawn in the background. Please, enjoy.
Please, enjoy.
I think the PS4 is a nice, powerful system, and I think Sony went into this generation saying, hey, we got to copy what Microsoft did because they were successful with the 360, which the 360 was successful because they had the superior multi-platform games. The last few years of the 360 weren't really heavy with the exclusives, but when you have the good multi-plats and things like that, people are going to buy your console anyway. Sony isn't going to be able to afford to do the exclusives like they did with the PS3. So if you bought a PlayStation 4 expecting that to have exclusives like the PS3, you're going to be in for a sad, sad shock because they can't afford it. If we've learned anything from this past week and all their closings and of stores and laying off developers, it's that they're going more on relying on indie games who can self-publish and free-to-play games and very few AAA titles. You're not going to see those big AAA titles because nobody was buying them anyway, for one thing, and the other thing is they can't afford them. They can't afford to advertise them. They can't afford to make them. They just canceled their new sci-fi open world game, which sounded pretty awesome, but now that'll never see the day of light. So basically, they want to have the superior multi-platform games, which is why they made the PS4 so easy to develop for, and they want, you know, the occasional exclusive. You're going to see maybe, 4 to 6 retail exclusives from them a year, probably. It's not going to be like the PS3 was, because the PS3 needed to do that because they were getting stomped on so badly by the Xbox 360. There's this article that I read, and it's this interview that somebody did with Sony's president, Yoshida, you know, the PlayStation president or whatever, and his direct quote is, "I do realize that some people are only interested in big budget AAA games. I don't really understand those people." He goes on to talk about how indies are great, and how they love releasing the indies every week. Whenever you hear a Yoshida interview, you always hear him talk up indies. They're filling the gap. They're filling the gap. That's what he keeps saying. They're filling the gap. We got indies, you know, they're interesting titles. Big budget titles are expensive and things like that. And he really kind of reiterates this mantra of Sony. And yet people still believe that Sony is going to all of a sudden start pulling out these big AAA games. He even says in this interview, and I'm going to link it, he says that he hears complaints about the lack of AAA games, and he realizes that a lot of people are interested in only big budget AAA games, and he says he doesn't understand those people. So this is disconnection with your audience. How can he not understand these people? This is the same Sony that did nothing but AAA games the past 3 generations. And now he's saying he doesn't understand these people. Where is he getting this shit from? Honestly. Now, when you look at what the PS4 is, they obviously built that to be the exact opposite of the PlayStation 3. The PlayStation 3 did these big budget exclusives. That's what it was known for. It wasn't really indie friendly. It didn't have a great arcade. Those were things that the Xbox 360 was known for. So basically, when Sony was going to build a new PlayStation, they said, hey, we want something that's going to be like the Xbox 360. Because if you look at the last few years of the Xbox 360, it's been extremely successful. It had its own indie channel. It had the Xbox Live Arcade, which was by far and away the best arcade around. It did a few AAA blockbusters every year, like the big exclusives. You had your Halo, Forza, Gears, or what have you. But it also relied on having really great multi-platform support. That's what Sony wants. So if you're one of those hillbillies or those inbred hicks that has a PS4 that thinks the PlayStation 4 is going to be getting all these AAA titles like in the past, then I guess this is a wake-up call. How many times do I have to report on Yoshida talking up indies and talking down AAA titles? How many times? You guys need to get hit in the head with a goddamn hammer from Yoshida saying indies before you believe it. Look, if you guys want a console that plays games that you can play on your phone, if you want a console that plays a bunch of free-to-play crap that you can play on a lousy PC or a tablet, then go ahead and get that. It's not for me. They're not selling me on a PlayStation 4 at this point. So, yeah, I gotta definitely say that's definitely something that is totally turning me against the PlayStation 4 even more. This guy is totally not aware of his target audience, clearly, and eventually people are gonna find him out. What's up, everybody? The CrapGamer here, the most compelling and the king of all gaming-related media, back with a little bit more truth and justice and the CrapGamer way. It looks like Sony has admitted defeat when it comes to their 2015 games lineup. What am I talking about? What's the most milked new franchise ever? Ding, 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 ding. The Last of Us. That's right, The Last of Us. The game that was released on the PlayStation 3, less than a year later on the PlayStation 4, then a Game of the Year edition, then all of these microtransactions. Pay us $1 for a kill. Pay us $1 for this. Pay to win. Now, what are they doing? They're releasing the Left Behind expansion as a standalone this month. If you're a PlayStation 4 fan, be worried because they're using this as filler. If you bought a PlayStation 4 this year, you already have this because it was free. They added this onto the quote-unquote remastered edition. So you already have it. The only reason why they're doing this is to help fill out an incredibly lackluster lineup for 2015. Wow, what a stinker for a lineup. I can't believe it. $10. So within the last 2 years, you've gotten the game, the remaster, the Game of the Year, and now they're standalone packing the DLC. If you don't see this as a problem, you're a moron. I cannot wait to see the Sony fans damage control this, considering that you have it if you bought it on the PS4. You already have it. This is clearly just them using filler, and they need it. Let's be honest, they need filler. It's definitely not working out to be their year. If they think this is going to compete against what Microsoft has to offer this year, then they must not really think much of gamers or fans in general, because this is pathetic, and I feel bad for anybody that gets suckered into this. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think this is complete baloney like I do? Filler? More crap from Sony? Let me know. Rate, comment, subscribe, rack them up, and remember, I'm the CrapGamer, and you're not, bitches. Be jealous. Haters gonna hate. CrapGamer out. And this is just one of those times where it occasionally is a real pleasure to do a video, and I actually get a real good laugh out of it. And this is one of them. Sony admits first-party PS4 games in 2015 are, quote, a little sparse. That is understatement of the goddamn century, no lie. And this was just, I think, weeks or possibly a month after they said they weren't worried about their holiday lineup because they had such games as No Man's Sky and Tearaway Unfolded. And I kind of balked at that lineup as well because Microsoft games that we know for their holiday is Tomb Raider, Halo 5, of course, and Forza Motorsport 6, and they're also touting more. So you have to wonder if you're a PS4 fan, what the fuck? I kind of feel a little bit bad for you. It's gotten pretty bad bad to the point where I was actually considering getting rid of my PS4. I know my brother, who got his PS4 the same day as me, actually put an ad out to get rid of his. He's only had about 3 hours worth of gameplay on there. He owns, I think, 5 or 6 games. So it's interesting that a lot of people are buying these things, but then are getting rid of them because they're realizing there's no games. And I really want to elaborate and get some other opinions on this, so I'll probably do a podcast about it later because it is interesting. And Sony actually coming out and admitting this is kind of funny, especially because it backtracks something that they said about 4 weeks earlier. So that makes it all the funnier. And when you consider that it'll be 2016 before they possibly get any decent exclusives, and I'm not talking about that little fake list with all the little indies and bargain bin games that nobody's heard of and the weird Japanimation games and all that kind of stuff. Nobody cares about that stuff. We're all talking about big name titles, the quality, not the quantity, not the nobody cares games, you know what I mean? Sony and the PS4 or the PlayStation as a whole has been known for certain types of games, and as yet they haven't. And you'll be 3 years in, which is a fucking shame when you think about it. Why does Sony keep doing this? They are so unprepared. Each generation comes and they wait years and years. It's so funny in my opinion. And you know, and the funniest part is you're starting to see social media pick up on this. Hashtag sparse was a thing all day today in my timeline, and it was actually absolutely cracking me up. The memes, I like seeing the social media turn against Sony a bit. Even the hardcore Sony fans, a lot of them were coming out against Sony on this, which is well ordered in my opinion. If you're gonna, you know, come out with a console, you need to have games to support it, you know, right from the beginning, and they haven't done that, and that's kind of sad. That's why I'm an Xbox dude. Microsoft has always given me the big AAA blockbusters that I want, and that's why I'll continue to be an Xbox dude. What do you guys think about this sparse lineup? Are you as enamored with it and think it's as funny as I do? Let me know in the comment section.
Okay, now that you heard all of that, I just want to say that to be fair, Sony wasn't really delivering a lot of quality exclusive games in 2014 and 2015, at least in my opinion. So I think it is understandable why CrapGamer would feel the way he felt during those times. But as history keeps repeating itself, Sony always starts slow every generation. And then, they'll flood the PlayStation with exclusives after exclusives, until the end of the console's life cycle. While Microsoft starts out strong with Xbox, but ends how Sony starts. But now that times have changed, with Sony killing it with many exclusives, and Microsoft is basically doing not enough to please their fanbase, I'm seeing CrapGamer, and even his BGST friends like Zaire and Tim Dog, with the exception of El Mega, I'm seeing them become more and more vocal recently.
Playground Games is working on Fable, and we're going to show it off at E3. If they say that, people are excited and lose their goddamn minds, and we finally got some excitement in here. Instead, we've got, you know, Larry Herb in white gloves.
I mean, that's all they could have done was just say, hey,
yeah, just
Playground Games is working on the next Fable. Wait till E3, you'll be happy.
Because
that's all they would need to do to get me hyped up again. Look at what
Nintendo did with Metroid Prime 4, right? Says in development with this logo that looked like it was made in paint.
Yep.
Metroid Prime 4, currently in development, right? Like,
kids lose their shit. What I'm saying?
People lose their shit. People lost their shit at a Splatoon character in Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I've never heard Xbox fans get excited like that before. You know, I want Xbox fans to be excited. There's nothing wrong with wanting more out of your platform. Like, I've spent $1,500 on Xbox consoles this generation in 4 years. That's remember years ago, and this was my bad, and I apologize for this. I said people are buying PS4s on the belief and faith that they're going to get something. Well, their belief paid off for them. You know, ours, we have no roadmap, so we don't even know. Like, are these games that they're building now, are they going to be next gen Xbox games? I mean, I'm sure they'll probably play on our X, but are they realistically being made with next gen in mind to launch that? Like, these are the questions that I have. There's a lot of questions to ask as an Xbox fan, and E3 is going to let a lot of people know what's going on. And if Microsoft is content with being irrelevant or being less relevant in the console space, then they'll continue to bullshit us. But they're going to need a bigger and better E3.
They're now starting to call out the BS from Microsoft. If you guys didn't know, Microsoft just had an event recently called Inside Xbox. And long story short, the event was a disappointment. You can tell just by looking at the chat during the event. Everyone was typing ZZZZZ.
keeps your fans engaged and that keeps your fans excited. Microsoft ain't excited a damn soul. You know who they excited? Toddlers that's ready for nap time. That's exactly who they excited today.
But you excited for Smash Brothers? You talking about Titleist? Man,
you said what?
Who you playing with Yoshi or Toadstool?
You said what?
He over there in the wonderful world. He over there in the wonderful world of colors. Talking about
hold on.
Xbox.
Man, Yoshi.
Wait a minute.
So, man, what you think of
Wait a minute.
They didn't show any new games, and as expected, CrapGamer and his BGST friends, with the exception of Elmega, criticized Microsoft for not showing anything that could have made them excited. K-Mega was the only one doing that non-profit work for Microsoft in the podcast.
So I don't. So again, look, you guys are always y'all sound like y'all sound like a bunch of babies that want your cake and candy, want your cake and cookies before dinner, and you already want to promote. Hold on, you want to promote State of Decay 2, and that game is 2 months away. Why they can't promote the shit that's coming up here right there in their face? This is a month show, bro.
All right, Mr. Meg, Mr.
Relax.
Love. Now, I want to remind you of two things. First of all, this is a drug-free environment, and we would hate to question your.
I think it's good that these Xbox dudes are now wanting for a better change. Because like Next Gen 720 says all the time, if you want your preferred platform to do better, then you have to be honest. With that being said, I do hope that Xbox will have an amazing E3 this year. That's where we will really see the fate of the Xbox brand. It's pretty much do or die for Microsoft. I am rooting for Xbox fans, because at the end of the day, I like to have entertainment out of the console war. And with one company choosing not to be competitive, it's not really fun. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. And oh, I almost forgot, CrapGamer, I do accept your apology. Now let's sing and dance together, Kumbaya.